What is going on, YouTube world? Damn it.
Try number 2.
What is going on, YouTube world? We are KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with the Y. This is your beautiful sister Kat, and I'm your brother Reza. And we have another shoe review. Man, it's been a long time since we've done a shoe review.
What did we do last?
I can't even remember, but we had something interesting, and you can see what it is. So I have been on this journey and this quest, or what have you, to find the perfect pair of hiking boots for all occasions. Something that I can go to, like, I don't know, K2 in, but I can also go to the Grammys in, is what I kind of want. Unfortunately, I doubt that that boot actually exists, but I'm still on this quest and I've been searching.
Yeah, he's taking minimalism to a whole other level.
Oh yeah, I'm going really, really extreme and hardcore with it.
The story behind the search.
Yes, the story behind this search for the ultimate shoe. Where does it begin? Well, let me tell you, I had the ultimate shoe at one point, and I'll show it to y'all real quick.
Not quite for the Grammys, but...
It was this right here, and this is called a Salewa. I can't remember what, but we've already talked about this in another video that we've done. And unfortunately, these shoes are kind of old, and they started to fall apart. I don't really need both of them, I only need one. And I took them to a cobbler to try to see if I could get these shoes fixed.
They became hybrids.
Yes, they became hybrids. This guy took this shoe and made it into a cowboy boot. And then he tried to explain to me that it was acceptable and it was cool that I had a cowboy boot heel on a hiking boot.
I mean, he ruined the boot for sure. But you know what? I have to give it to him. The idea of creating a cowboy boot out of the hiking shoe, I would never come up with that idea. So,
neither should anybody else.
I don't know how his imagination got that idea, but it's just amazing. So, yes. Needless to say, that was a complete waste of shoe.
Waste of time and money and a failure. And then I got these right here. These are the North Face, what are these things called? Lifty thermal ball boots. These boots I actually like a lot. They are waterproof. They are pretty much windproof. They have the thermal ball material in the sole. Pretty warm, but they're not quite as warm as I would have thought.
I'll put a little link up here in the corner so you guys can see. We have done the review on these a few months back in the fall. So it's a little bit more,
Right, and that was when I first got them, but now I've actually worn them in cold weather. And they're cool. They have a decent amount of grip. Not as much as you would really want out of a hiking boot, but it's okay. And they're decently warm, but they're not super, super warm. They're just okay. They're nowhere near as good as my Salewa boots. Like, those were like...
He has emotional attachment to those boots, so nothing can ever replace them.
Yes.
Even the brand new Salewa boots.
Exactly. So these are cool, but they're not quite as fashionable as I want them to be or have the look that I want them to have. So, what happened next? Well, I was just hunting around on the interweb one day, and I saw these right here. These are the Nike... Antarktik? They spell Antarctic all kind of funky, so it's kind of...
ACG Air Terra Antarktik.
Yes. Crazy, crazy, crazy name.
They call them, boot-like sneaker.
Boot-like sneaker, yes. Crazy name, crazy looking boot. And we're about to tell you what we think about this boot and why I got these boots. So I got them pretty much to replace the North Face boots that I just threw on the ground right there. And I'm not really sure how I feel about them right now at the moment. The way that these boots kind of look, I'll leave that one right there, but I'll kind of bring this one closer to me so I can look at it and talk to you about it. So the way this boot kind of looks, it's a sneaker that's built like a boot, but it looks like a boot of the future. It's very, very extremely unique, and I would tend to wear like skinny and more fitted clothes. Yes. Mm-hmm. So because this has this like tighter Converse-ish looking upper. Ankle grabber, as we like to call it.
We have our own terms. Yeah.
Exactly. I kind of like the way that this boot looks as far as for the fashion aesthetic, even though it's not a true fashion boot. The materials and build of these boots are actually super, super high-tech, interesting material. Now, I've said it many times, if you slap gore-tex on the name of something, I'm pretty much going to go and buy it, whether it be underwear, socks, boots, whatever
Watch
it is.
this. Somebody's going to create Gore-Tex underwear one day, and we're going to be doing reviews.
Exactly.
Remember my words.
So this is Gore-Tex with ripstop on top of it on a sneaker, and it's not very heavily insulated, and it's a very light, bendable, flexible boot, and we kind of want to weigh it to see how much it weighs compared to our other boots. See. So we're going to zero out our
Well, let's weigh the other
scales.
First,
yes.
Let's do the North Face.
So here goes the North Face one right here. We're going to weigh that and see what it weighs.
So the North Face is 1 pound, 3 ounces.
Okay.
So let's say 1 pound. And this is 14.5 ounces. Wow.
Okay, so just for shits and giggles, how much does this my mutant Soleil boot wear? Weigh?
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid, yes.
It's a disruptor, you guys.
It's a disruptor.
It weighs the same as North Face, actually 4 ounces more. It's 1 pound, 8 ounces. So it's pretty much the same as North Face.
Okay.
But those are kind of similar because they both hiking boots and they both winter boots.
I would consider these like proper winter hiking boots that I would wear in deep snow and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This one right here, kind of trying to figure it out. Now, like I said, it looks and feels like a really, really beefy sneaker, but I'm not really sure how they'll actually do in cold weather. And the fit of these is actually a lot different from a more traditional hiking boot because it feels like a sneaker. Now, when you're actually trying to put these things on, the one thing that everybody complained about these boots, and man, we got some really funny reviews that we read that were talking about these. So you want to tell them some of the stories?
Yeah, what I was going to say is because these are new and they just kind of came out, so there isn't that many reviews, but the reviews are really 2.5 stars.
Terrible
so they're
reviews.
really, really bad. And so I start reading them. There's the couple, every single person, even if they leave a good review, every single person mentions that it's extremely, extremely hard to get on right here.
Which is very true.
The foot doesn't go in. But a couple of people actually, they wrote the review and stuff. And the one guy said, he goes, great idea and design, but execution and testing gets a 0. Even though it does say on the boot.
It says designed and tested in Oregon, USA, right here on the bottom. I think one person designed and tested this.
And the other person also said the same thing. You know, they love the way they look, they love the materials and all that stuff. And this guy even tried to go up half size just so he can maybe put his foot in, but he said the issue was the same. And he said, I seriously wonder if anyone at Nike ever tried these on. Very legit point, because I feel like if you are testing the boot, you have to test it on at least, I would say at least
3 people or 2 people at least.
I was going to say at least 20 people. But okay, even 3 people. Every single person on here from these reviews.
Okay, so show them real quick what you're talking about. So to show y'all, this boot has this like Velcro zip.
Flap.
Yes.
Flap, whatever this is. Yeah, and one guy said you can loosen up, the laces a little bit. Laces are very interestingly made. They kind of have a really cool design. And maybe you can put it in, but this right here is not stretchy at all.
Not at all.
It does not stretch. So you just try to squeeze your foot in, and also even if you do squeeze your foot in and it is it's so tight, how well your shoe is going to wear after you're going to keep doing this back and forth. Eventually you're going to rip it.
Exactly. And I had that same problem when I was trying to use my really, really thick Darn Tough socks on these boots. I couldn't really get my foot in easily. Eventually I did, but I felt like I was either going to tear this tab or I was going to mess my sock up and put my foot all the way through my sock. But when I had my thin sock on, my foot was able to go right on into this boot. So I'm kind of at a conundrum with what
and your foot is narrow.
Yes, and being that this material is so thin on here, in the wintertime you will want to wear a thicker sock with this boot, but it's harder to get your foot actually in the boot with the thicker sock. So that's.
And then one guy said about the thicker socks, he said even though I was able to kind of squeeze it in after 5 minutes of trying, he said it bunches up your socks because of the way you force your foot in, which I totally see that. So I don't know about this whole testing, what they call it testing, because
but once you get past getting the actual shoe on, the actual inside of the actual inside of the shoe is actually very comfortable. It's kind of narrow, but I kind of have narrow feet, but it fits really, really good and very, very, very true to size. Once again, if I were to wear any like super thick socks because I went to somewhere cold with these boots, I would probably have a very difficult time putting these boots on and off. Well, I definitely know I would have a very difficult time because I already tried it with those my thick things. So that's how they are pretty much on foot. So I guess we should talk about our overall thoughts on this shoe right now. And we got some notes that we've been reading the whole time. We love our notes when we're doing shoe reviews.
We have to because we're getting old and our memory just...
No, we have to because we're not what do they call them? When people
we're
who
not
like shoes,
sneakerheads.
We're not sneakerheads, yes. So we got to have notes.
And we still getting old.
Okay, so overall thoughts on the Nike ACG Terra Antarktik. Man, this thing has a crazy name.
See, I have to read these names. I will never remember. We did the North Face review, and I'm like, I can't remember this. I flipped the words backwards and stuff. And
all right, so final thoughts. I think that this is a great boot because of the way it looks, number one. The look is amazing. It doesn't look like a traditional boot. It's very, very unique. You can wear it with a bunch of the styles that modern people have.
It slightly looks tactical to me.
It looks kind of tactical, but you look like a really cool tactical person from the future instead of like a dated tactical person from the 90s, which you don't want to look like wearing high-tech boots and stuff like that. Actually, high-tech boots might come back. That would be interesting. Are high-tech boots ever going to come back? What do y'all think? Let us know in the comments. I feel like you can wear this thing in multiple climates because it is so thin. It's not like the Lifty boot that has a thermal ball insulation, so it only makes it a winter boot. No. I think that this boot is something that you could wear comfortably in any temperatures ranging from probably like 40 degrees Fahrenheit up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit and wear them very, very comfortably.
These probably be perfect for
like jungle, Costa Rica.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like hot, but they super light. They still very thin, and they're waterproof. What else
so
do you
need? Costa Rica hiking, something like that. This would be great if you were going to like something like I don't know, like the Yukon Territory. Probably not. Much.
But another thing from reviews I read that this guy tested out the traction. This part, like the sole, and he said like for real they have a really, really, really good stable traction. So you're not gonna slide. So jungle. That would be perfect.
I love the sole in these boots, and I love how high the toe protection and everything comes up on this boot. Let's see. So we wouldn't recommend it for sub-freezing temperature because it's not heavily insulated. We already said that. It's very light and very comfortable, which we've already said. And it's very true to size. I wear a Euro 42, 8.5 United States, and if I order a 42 in a shoe, 99.9% of the time it fits, and this is a 42 and it fits, but it's very, very true to size. Like it gives you no room for expansion.
So what I was gonna say is, you said you like this design, so they call it mud toe.
Yeah.
It supposedly should protect your shoe, from when you go hiking to like get extra debris and stuff. So this Costa Rica, that would be definitely something you would want to take with you.
So this is pretty much sums up our review of the Nike Terra ACG and Terra Antarktika boot. $200 for this is a bit steep, but you do get a lot of a decent amount of tech in the amount of
if you can get your foot in.
If you can get your foot in, I would say probably pull the trigger on these boots. And they came in some amazing colorways. Before we end this vlog, man, the two colors, I was late to the party. I saw these I think on the 8th of February, but they dropped on the 2nd, I want to say, and I'm sure y'all going to correct me because I'm probably wrong. But the colors that came out, that white joint with the green, oh my God.
So there's the black and white one. So it's a white shoe with the black laces and all these pieces. And then they have this piece right here is orange, like neon, not quite neon orange, but bright orange. And then you have this neon green right here. And Oh my God, they look so awesome.
Yeah.
I would totally get this. I'm not sure if I could put my foot in, but I like them a lot.
Yep. So that's that. That's our review. We are KRT Life. KRT Life with the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff. I don't know if I'm going to keep these or return them. Not. I haven't had them 30 days, and I haven't pulled the jazzy gore-tex tag off yet. But I think I definitely like this style of shoe better than my Arc'teryx winter boots. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet,
You mean
y'all.
North Face?
What did I... Yes, North Face.
I told you we're getting old, didn't I?
All right, we're out. Peace. But before you go, we forgot to mention a couple of things.
Sorry, the notes didn't work all the way.
But it was better than not having notes.
Yeah.
We actually did our own testing on these boots, and we completely submerged them in water for about, a good 2 or 3 minutes. I'm talking about spread them around, / blah, 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 blah. They got extremely cold, but my feet did not get wet. I thought they got wet, but they just really got cold.
They got cold because it's like 40 degrees outside and the water in the pool is freezing. But
yeah. So what was the other
still
thing
was
that we
dry.
forgot to mention?
The other thing, as soon as we got off the camera, I was looking at Reza trying them on, and I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, are you going to get rid of your North Face boots? And he said, well, I feel like I might just sell them. And I'm like, okay. It didn't dawn on me earlier in the video that obviously this is a proper hiking shoe. So you have a really nice ankle support. And he said that some people don't really care. I really do care about my ankle support. I can tell the difference when I hike in the regular like sneakers, even with a good grip, versus a proper hiking boot where it holds my ankle tight. But if that's not something, you care about, if you're not planning on going proper hiking, or if that's just not one of your things, then you should be good to go.
I mean, and then deep snow, period, because, this one has a way higher ankle, and this one is way lower.
Yeah. And of
so,
course the warmth as well.
Yeah, so, if you're going to go hike through some powder, I probably wouldn't do it in this, but this, you probably could, do it a little bit better.
But on the other hand, if this is super tight, that power isn't getting in there.
Yes. All right, so that is it. If you're going to go to Costa Rica, you might want to get these. If you're going to go to the Adirondack or, I don't know, the Appalachians, not the
Hike in
Appalachians.
Utah.
Aspen or something. What's that other place called? Himalayas. You might want to take these. I don't know. Make your choice.